get outdoors with Hook Outdoors. I'm your host, Dan Hook, and this is Free Tackle Friday. Plan on doing a Free Tackle Friday every 2 weeks, and it's basically going to be a product showcase. And if you like, listen, and share, and so forth, you'll be eligible for a $20 prize that you can use towards the purchase of an item here at the store, or you can swing by and I'll give you $20, however you want to do it. For the first show here, I'm going to talk about a bait that is near and dear to me. It's the bait that I have used my whole life. It's kind of my go-to when nothing else is working. I have, probably every color made and all the sizes made as far as that goes, and have fished it about every way that it can be fished. And that is a Zoom brush hog or a baby brush hog, either size. It's kind of an old school bait. This is developed several years ago, and there's a lot of new baits out there, new styles, new textures, and different types of plastics. But sometimes old things work the best, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, it's a bit old school, but it's still something that works for me, and I just really like it. To be quite honest with you, if you look at it, it doesn't resemble any kind of a natural bait fish that a bass would eat. There's nothing out there in the water really that it resembles. You can customize the colors of it and maybe find a color that resembles something, kind of a match the hatch kind of thing. But as far as the body style and shape, no, there's really nothing about it. But I guess that's what the thing of it was when it was invented. It proved the point that you don't necessarily have to have something that resembles or mimics a bait. It can be more about water displacement and action of the lure. And again, you can go back between the water displacement and the action, and color selection and size selection, where you get the brush hog or the baby brush hog, and you can come up with a bait that you can fish year round. The only other thing you might have to adjust is your technique or your tactic and location of where you're fishing. So you've got 4 factors with it. You've got water displacement, you've got versatility, you got durability, and, for lack of another word, affordability. As far as water displacement goes, you've got the ribbon tails, tentacle-like, if you will. There's 2 of them that drag behind the rest of the body, and they spin and twirl down through the water, given whatever the action of the water is. You've got a couple of paddle tails that flare out from each side, and they're near the rear section of the bait, and what they do, they give off more of a lazy, undulating type of action. And you see that a lot of times if you hop it, or if you pitch it and you watch it fall, you notice that more. And that brings us to, it requires really little work all on the part of the angler. I mean, you don't have to shake the rod tip and do a bunch of movement, especially if you're pitching. You just pitch it in there and let it fall. If you're fishing on a Carolina rig, you're just dragging it along the bottom, and the lure's doing all the work for you. And that brings us to the versatility aspect of it. To me, it's a do-all bait, if you think of it, even in the practicality terms of it. This is one bait that can cut down on the clutter in your tackle box or in your boat, if you will, and you don't have the frustration of looking through piles and piles of lures and baits trying to find the perfect one. You can get a few packs of these and a few different colors, a few different sizes, and you got what you need. Then it's just a matter of how you want to rig it, given whatever conditions and weather and water clarity and so forth, structure, no structure, what kind of cover you're on, and that sort of thing. The 4 main ways that I've fished it, you can rig it on a Texas rig, and it can work into places, down through weeds, down through treetops, that sort of thing, in and around rocks. And you can peg it or unpeg it. That's kind of more of a personal choice there. And again, like I talk about being old school, I still like a Carolina rig if the conditions are right. And this thing here on a big long leader dragging behind a big sinker, it's to me, I've caught a lot of fish on it, and it works. It's slow, but gosh, I really like the way it works, and I like the way it produces fish for me. A lot of people use it as a jig trailer, especially the baby brush hogs. Those tails and the action that it imparts, it's just more than like a plastic chunk or what have you works, or even a plastic crawl. It's just something that I really like. And you can even rig it weightless. That's something new that I've just been trying, but it works really well. You just flick it out there, and it just falls real slow. And if you've got a finicky fish around, it's a pretty good go-to to land that fish, to inspire it to bite, if you will. And that brings us to the durability aspect of it. You can catch a lot of fish on one lure with the brush hogs. They have a thick head and a thick body, which equals to, hook stability and maintains hook placement. You don't have to babysit this lure every time you pull it out of the water. You don't have to inspect it and adjust the hook, tinker with it like that. Also, every bite's not going to tear your lure all to pieces, and you have to replace it every time you catch fish. And that brings us to the all-important affordability factor of fishing. When you combine price with the durability of a Zoom brush hog, it's a no-brainer. And you want to save money where you can without sacrificing quality, and that's what you get when you fish with Zoom plastics, especially brush hogs. They're available in 130 colors between the brush hogs and the baby brush hogs, that are standard colors and special run colors. And like I said, it's a bit old school, but it's kind of my go-to. And overall, they just catch a lot of fish, and they last quite a while. They're rather inexpensive. You can get a 8-pack of the brush hogs or a 12-pack of the baby brush hogs. They run about $4 and a half, something like that. And you can accumulate a pretty good selection and not have a whole lot of money tied up. So the next time you're thinking about acquiring something new to fish with, maybe think a little old school. And and there you have it for the first Free Tackle Friday. And like I said, just give us a like, give us a share, so forth, and we'll just put the names together, and we'll have a drawing, and you'll be up for $20, and you can get $20 in merchandise here at the store, or you can swing by and pick up a $20 bill, however you want to do it. But I appreciate you listening. Hope y'all find this informative, and maybe you learned a little something today that you didn't know before. So like I say always, just get outdoors with Hook Outdoors, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you.